everyone, welcome back. In today's video I'm gonna share a classic Diwali or Hindu prayers dish. It's called Karhee and it's similar to dal because it's split pea based or dal based. So the only difference with these two is that the Karhee contains split pea powder or dal powder as well as boulders, similar to pholourie but a denser version of pholourie. And it has a different taste than the traditional dal we make. So it's like a split pea soup but very thick. And this is how my mom taught me to make it. I know a lot of you have different recipes, but this is just how I grew up making it. So I hope you guys enjoy this recipe. It's one of my favorites. And usually you eat this on a sohari leaf with rice and you just eat it with your hands. So if you've been to Hindu prayers and you've had this dish, then today you're gonna learn how to prepare it. So if you guys want to see how I do this recipe for Karhee, then keep watching. So the first step to making the Karhee is the boulders. So the boulders is kind of like pholourie, but it's made with just split peas alone or dal powder. So over here I have some dal powder or some split pea powder. And to this I'm going to add some salt. And I'm also going to add some turmeric powder or some saffron as we call it back in Trinidad. Now you're going to add some hot pepper. I'm just gonna add all. And some shadow benny, bandania or culandro. I just chopped it up finely. If you want, you could put some green seasoning. And you want to put some ground garlic. And all you want to do now is mix that in. And you're gonna add some water to create a thin batter. So this consistency looks good for me. In the description box below you could find all the exact measurements that I'll be using. So the exact amount of water I use for this is going to be listed down there. So now you just want to set this aside and now let's work on the actual liquid part of our Karhee. So to make the actual Karhee or the liquid portion of this dish, I have some more split peas powder or some dal powder. To this I'm going to add some more turmeric or some saffron powder and some salt. Then you're gonna add a lot of water. You want to create a nice thin consistency. So make sure there's no lumps. So when you mix the split pea powder and the water, it's gonna look kind of like juice. So that's the consistency you want. Make sure there's no lumps in there and mix that really well. So now just set this aside for a while we fry the boulders. So once the oil is nice and hot, what you want to do is wet your hand with some oil or some water. And you're going to pick up some of the dough and just form it into a ball. And you're going to drop it in. So I have it on medium heat and I'm just going to let them fry for about 4 minutes. You just want it to develop a nice golden color on the outside. And it's going to cook further when it goes into the Karhee. So my boulders have developed a nice golden brown color. And I'm just going to take them out of here, put them onto a plate lined with paper towels. Let them drain and then we'll work on the Karhee sauce. So to the pot, add some oil. I like to use avocado oil. You can use coconut, canola, whatever type of oil you like to use. And the first thing I'm adding is some chopped onion. Now I'm going to add some karapili or some curry leaves. After about a minute, you want to add in your hot pepper. You can add as much or as little as you want, or you can just omit pepper completely. And I'm gonna add some chopped bandania or shadow benny, also called culantro or recao. I'm gonna lower the heat completely, and I'm gonna add a little bit of this roasted ground jeera. I got this in the Callaloo box. Be sure to go check them out. And I'm adding a very, very little bit of curry powder. You don't want to add too much. Let this fry for about 2 minutes, and then we'll add that mixture we made earlier. Also, I forgot to mention garlic as well. You have to add garlic. Can't believe I forgot the garlic. That's like the most important thing. So once this is fried properly and your heat is on low, you're gonna add that mixture we made earlier. Make sure that it's evenly mixed and there's no clumping or anything. And this is gonna thicken up very quickly, so you have to keep turning. If it doesn't cook properly, it can affect your stomach. So you have to let this cook for at least 45 minutes. And I'm just going to fill up this bowl with some water, and I'm going to add that to the pot. So you'll notice the curry is getting nice and thick. It's been about 10 minutes. And I'm just going to leave this on medium-low heat, and I'm going to let it go for the next half an hour, because I want this to cook really good. So if it's getting too thick on you, add a little more hot water. And make sure there's no lumps, and you want to keep stirring it. Because if you leave it and you don't keep your eye on it, it's going to get thick and lumpy. So just make sure that doesn't happen. So I'm just going to let this boil for a couple minutes again. I'll come back in about half an hour, and we'll add the boulders to the sauce. So it's been about half an hour now. And that sizzling sound is my tofu frying. So that's what I'm going to be eating this curry with. So as you can see, it's nice and thick. So now you want to add some salt. And you also want to add the boulders in at this point. So just drop them in there. And they're going to absorb that nice sauce. And I think the reason why they call it boulders is because it's quite dense. So it's not as soft as pholourie. So now it's starting to look like curry. Now just let that boil for about 10 more minutes, and then we can turn it off. So after cooking for a total of 45 minutes, it has a nice thickness. And the boulders got to cook in that sauce for a while too. So I'm going to turn it off. I'm going to let it cool down, and I'll show you guys how the inside of the boulders look. So I hope you all enjoyed the Karhee recipe. This is how my mom taught me to make Karhee. And I know a lot of people make it differently, so you guys could share how you make it in the comments below. So I'm going to break one of the boulders open and show you all. So this is how it looks on the inside. It's very dense. It's not like a pholourie, very airy inside. It's really, really dense, and let me taste it. It's seasoned really well. And I like the chunks of the bandania and the pepper in there. It also has a very creamy texture. And while you eat it, you'll want to have a drink with you, because it's a very dense kind of pholourie. Other than that, it tastes really good. And this is one of my favorite Diwali dishes. Or if I go to a prayers, this is what I look forward to. So I hope you guys enjoyed it. Be sure to subscribe if you haven't already, so you could see all the latest videos. And give the video a thumbs up if you like it. And I will see you guys in my next video. Bye!